Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Bannerjee. Friday evening को जो Jerome Powell का speech था, US Federal Reserve Chief, that was very hawkish. And once the speech was out, we highlighted it categorically. This is a very hawkish speech, and USD bears could watch out. And that's exactly what happened. रात तक dollar index rallied. US bond yields rose and equity markets sold off heavily. आज Asia में भी that trend continues with dollar index at a 20-year high. Equity markets down between 2 to 4%, and US bond yields are rising. But interestingly, oil prices, जैसे Brent, 102 के आसपास है. It's not selling off. So this combination is bad for the Indian rupee. So USDINR offshore में is trading at a fresh all-time high. अगर यहाँ पे open होता है onshore, तो it will be around 80-10 on the spot. But of course, RBI intervention is expected at higher levels because this is a market where RBI is a major player and they don't like high volatility and significant weakness from the Indian rupee. So expect RBI intervention at high levels, but the trend is completely upward. क्योंकि जो global situation है, उसके हिसाब से the trend is upward on USD/INR. So how to play? There are a couple of ways to play. Buy on dips. अगर intraday because of intervention or any corporate flows, there are pullbacks. You can buy using futures. Stop loss रहेगा strategically below 79.80 levels. On a daily closing basis. I'm talking about the spot levels. 79.80 के नीचे अगर closing basis में ये hold करता है, then you can exit. Otherwise, it's an upward trend. You can keep on buying, or else you can switch to call options as well. Call spreads, क्योंकि call spreads का advantage क्या है? Call spreads में you have a natural stop loss built in. In case you miss or the market jumps down or gaps down, you still have a natural stop loss built in. So for people who don't like to take high risk, a call spread is a fantastic option because then there is a natural stop loss. Key levels to watch on the upside. Actually, see, all-time high में key levels कुछ होता नहीं है because there is no memory of the market at those levels. But psychological levels are 80.5 and 81. But again, this is a market where RBI is a major player, and their objectives are simple. They don't want Indian rupee to become an outlier, which means a major underperformer when it's depreciating, or the volatility to increase significantly. So they come and sell heavily. So when dollar is weak, they sell. When dollar is strong, when dollar is weak, they sell the rupee, and when dollar is strong, they buy the rupee. So that's how they operate in the market. So this is how you can play, and this is the bias in USD/INR. In cross currencies, Euro/INR, GBP/INR, and JPY/INR, three currencies will be under pressure. But considering that USD/INR is an uptrend, तो थोड़ा सा cushion मिलेगा. But तीनों currencies में the bias is downward. Or coming back to Jerome Powell's speech, he clearly hinted that even if the US economy slows down for a considerable period of time, the Fed will continue to keep rates, not only hike, but also keep rates at a higher level because inflation has to be brought down, or inflation को नीचे लाने के लिए there has to be some economic pain. So this is a trade-off the Fed is willing to make. So that is a very hawkish statement. And not just the Fed, even other central bankers like some of the ECB policymakers, they also said that the central banks have to act quite forcefully. So at a time when the global economy is slowing down, US economy is slowing down, which is becoming a consensus, some parts are entering into recession. For the central banks to ignore that and focus squarely on inflation, this is a major departure from the past. At least in the last 20, 30 years, we have not seen a consensus among central bankers jahan pe they are categorically targeting inflation even at the risk of slowing down the economy or pushing it towards recession. So that's the reason why global equity markets will feel the heat. Dollar index will get a major support. Ye hafta, the key data points will be from US, and they need to be watched. You have the US ISM, which basically gives you a complexion of the manufacturing sector. The jobs report, which is going to be critically important. So these are the data points which needs to be watched. If these data points come in strong, the odds for a 75 bips will rise even more, which is already at 68% for September, which can rise even more. And as this odds rise, dollar index will rise with it, and dollar rupee will also go up with it, and euro INR, GBP INR, and GBP INR will continue to fall. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.